Alright, so 5-3 continued. Write an equation of a line that passes through the given points. You kind of did that yesterday on 20 through 24, right? But you had to go get the points off the graph. Today they're going to give them to you. So I'm going to do number 25 first on page 533. Alright, the points are 0, 3, and 2, 4. Okay? So write an equation of a line that passes through the given points. So we're going to use y equals mx plus b. Slope-intercept form, right? When you're writing an equation in slope-intercept form, what do you need? You need the slope and the y-intercept, don't you? Okay. Right now, you don't have the slope or the y-intercept. You just have 2 points. So, what you need, it's always good to identify what you need, isn't it? Like if you're going to make a recipe, if you're going to cook something at home, you're going to read the ingredients list first before you start, I hope, to find out what you need. If you're going to write an equation, you need to find out what you need. You need the slope, and you need the y-intercept. Now, let's look at these points for a second. The y-intercept is given, isn't it? Look at the points. Where does that line hit the y-axis? If the x value is 0, look, if you just took a quick graph and you put a point at 0 on the x and 3 on the y, wouldn't it be right here? So isn't that line going to go through that point? That's a point on the line. So there's your y-intercept. Anytime an x is 0, then that y value is your y-intercept. So your y-intercept is 3. You got half the work done. Now you just need to find the slope. So you do the slope formula. Okay? And I would keep labeling these until you get real good at it. There's your x1 and your y1, x2 and y2. Alright? And the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then fill it in. Okay? Or substitute. You're going to get 4 minus 3 over 2 minus 0. 4 minus 3 is, 2 minus 0 is, the slope of that line is, the equation of the line that passes through those points is going to be y equals 1/2 x plus 3. I can't explain to you how important this concept is for the rest of your math career. Okay? And that you really need to try to get this concept understood. And we're going to spend a little bit of time on it again today and tomorrow. Okay? Alright, so let's do the same thing. Write an equation of a line. And I'm going to give you 2 points. And let's do -2, 4. And let's do 3, -1. Now I'm going to do the problem up on the wall without saying anything. You do it on your paper. And then if you get stuck, look up. And then we'll talk about it at the end. Okay? Questions? Go ahead.
Like, I get like stuff whenever we like try to find the slope.
Did you forget the formula? Did you get your values in here? And then what happened? Did you get this written down? -1 minus 4? And 3 minus -2? Did you get to the -5 over 5? And you got to the -1? Alright, so you got the slope. But then next you got stuck. Okay. If you get the slope, which you have 2 points and they ask you to find the slope, let's plug it into the formula. After you get the slope and you've got this, alright, the next thing you need is that, right? The y-intercept, or the b. And the b is right here. So if you've got a y, and that would come from here. If you've got an m, and that came from here. And if you have an x, and that comes from there. You've got your y, your m, and your x. And what you do is you replace the y, the m, and the x with what y, m, and x is equal to so far. Once you have those 3 variables replaced with numbers, you can find out what b is by just doing the math. Okay? So after you find the slope, your next step is to substitute. Your next step is to go to y equals mx plus b, to fill in the y, fill in the m, fill in the x, and solve for b, because b is the y-intercept that you're looking for. And then once you have that, then you can rewrite it again, but now you write the letter y and you write the letter x, and you put your slope here and your y-intercept here. Make a little more sense? Alright, let's try one more. Write an equation. Alright, we're going to pass through -2, -1, and 4, 2. Any questions there? Better? Better? Okay. The last thing we're going to talk about today is problems like 32 through 39 on page 333. Page 333, we're looking at 32 through 39. Find the slope and y-intercept of the graph. Okay, you're going to get equations now that aren't in slope-intercept form. They're close. Okay, find the slope and the y-intercept. And they give you this equation. Now, it's not in y equals mx plus b form, is it? This doesn't say y equals. What you have to do is you got to transform this equation into this format. Meaning whatever's with the x has to be on the right side of the equal sign and next to it. Okay? So what do you got to move here? What's in the wrong place? The y looks good. It's on the left. The 1/2 x is on the wrong side of the equal sign, isn't it? How could you move it to the other side? Subtract 1/2 x from each side. So y equals negative 1/2 x plus 0. You don't have to write the plus 0, do you? All right. They're asking for the slope and the y-intercept. So the slope is equal to what? Negative 1/2. And what's your yin? It's 0. So what you got to do now, you got to transform the equation that's given into y equals mx plus b form. And then you just have to identify the slope and the y-intercept. Yes?
What about equations that are written
How about I show you? Two y plus 4n. All right. 2y plus 4n equals negative 6x. And we don't need that, right? It's like you're cooking. You got to check that. You got to check your ingredient list, don't you, Carissa? We need this. All right, so what's in the right place right now? What's in the correct place? I think the negative 6x is. It's right next to the equal sign, isn't it? The 2y is over here, but it's got something else with it. So it looks like this 4n's got to go, and then we got to get rid of this 2. Because this says y equals. It doesn't say a number in front of y equals. It just says y equals. So how about if we subtract the 4n? Now, can you subtract 4n from 6x? No. So bring down your 2y, bring down your equal sign, leave your negative 6x right next to the equal sign, and just put the negative 4n right there. Now we're getting closer to this form, aren't we? Now what's out of place? That 2 needs to get gone. Divide everything by 2. And your y is going to equal negative 3x minus what? 2n. Very good. So, slope. Slope's negative 3. What's your yin? Very good. Your y-intercept is, because remember, in this equation, in standard form, this, between the equal sign and the x, is your slope. Anything to the right of the x is your yin, your y-intercept. Yeah. Because this is a concept exercise. They want you to understand the concept that when it's in slope-intercept form, whatever's to the right of the x is the y-intercept. Whatever's between the equal sign and the x is your slope. Because your slope may be a letter in some of those problems. I think there was, yeah, like number 37. Your slope, what's the slope in 37? Dan? C. It's what's between the equal sign and the x. So it's just the c. What's the y-intercept going to be there? Positive d. Yeah. Very good. Okay, page 333 today. (26) through 39. Check headline. Do you guys notice the yellow stuff on the sides of the... Anytime the yellow stuff's on the sides of the... Then the notes are going to be on headline.